I'll pay the difference. Sorry. Finally, I just want to say, finally, go birds, Weiss, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show, everyone. Keaton and Russ from Due Dissidence in for Jimmy while he is on the road. Well, the Emmys were last night. We were snubbed once again. No nomination, no invite, no nothing.
Nothing.
But luckily, Hannah Einbinder held down the fort. So here she is accepting her award for Hacks, I guess is the name of the show. Man, I don't know anything about this stuff anymore. Like, I don't know.
No, me neither.
Yeah. I don't even know
So
the host name.
what's it on?
I have no idea. The host name is what? Nate Bargatze? Who the hell is that? I never even heard of him. Apparently, he was not well received. Which
No.
I have to explain. So before we play the video, that little dollar amount down there, the host had this gimmick where he was going to donate $100,000 to a charity, but then every second that an award winner went over their time to say their thank yous, $1,000 came off the donation amount.
I see.
But then every second they went under their time, $1,000 would be added. So that's what at the time here she says, I'll pay the rest, meaning I will make up for whatever whatever dollar amount the charity is fined for me saying my piece, which is go birds, fuck ICE, and free Palestine. So here she is toward the tail end of the speech.
I'll pay the difference. Sorry. Finally, I just want to say, finally, go birds, fuck ICE, and free Palestine. Thank you.
There we go. Big applause in the room. Let's take one more look at that.
I just want to say, finally, go birds, fuck ICE, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Now, unfortunately, because she did swear
she did a lot better with that crowd than Vanessa Redgrave did.
Well, yeah, no kidding. But unfortunately, because she did swear there, they did censor it, so you couldn't really hear that part on the broadcast. But it was pretty obvious what she had said. The clip surfaced online, and here she is being asked to elaborate on her Free Palestine acceptance speech. So here she goes at the post-victory press conference.
Ask you, when you were up on stage, you talked about Palestine, and I know you signed a pledge too. Can you talk about that, please?
Yeah. So, well, I thought it was important to talk about Palestine because it's an issue that's very dear to my heart. I have friends in Gaza who are working as frontline workers, as doctors right now in the north of Gaza to provide care for pregnant women and for school children to create schools in the refugee camps. And it's an issue that's really close to my heart for many reasons. I feel like it is my obligation as a Jewish person to distinguish Jews from the state of Israel because our religion and our culture is such an important and long-standing, basically like institution that is really separate to this sort of ethno-nationalist state. And in terms of the pledge, it's like many movements. Boycotting is an effective tool to create pressure on the powers that be to meet the moment, you know? So the Film Workers for Palestine boycott does not boycott individuals. It only boycotts institutions that are directly complicit in the genocide. So yeah, it's important to me, and I think it's an important measure, and so I was happy to be a part of it.
Nailed it. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. You know,
So by the way, Hacks is on HBO. I realized as soon as I saw Gene Smart what show this is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've never actually seen it though.
Oh, I remember. This show's been on for a long time. Yeah, it's been on for a while.
Little bit.
Yeah, because I remember this. We started watching it, never finished it. I think we watched like, I don't know, the first half of the first season. But yeah, now that you say it's on HBO, that definitely rings a bell. Yeah, and look, the film workers for Palestine boycott, which we're going to talk a little bit about in the next piece, because Javier Bardem has also been very vocal about this. But yeah, no, look, I mean, it's super important that people use these big moments that get these big ratings to speak out if and when they can. And what's interesting to see, in the future is how many awards they continue to win. I think the stigma is kind of off. That's what I think was significant about the No Other Land victory at the Oscars last year is, you have a secret ballot where, people can vote for who they want to win without fear of reputational damage necessarily. And yeah, I mean, look, a lot of these artists in the industry, you have to imagine, assuming they know a damn thing about it, which is not always a safe assumption to make, since not, actors are not the most knowledgeable in affairs off the stage or off the screen necessarily. Not always. I know some actors who are very, very smart. It makes them better actors. I always thought, like, when I did theater, I whenever I would act in a play, I would learn a lot, and it would inspire me to learn more. So I thought, actors can potentially be like really smart. Like, one of the smartest people I ever met was
Some of them.
my high school drama teacher was like an insanely smart and knowledgeable person, and she brought that to the work. So, but generally they're not the most curious of people. But they are emotionally inclined, I think, to sympathize or to empathize with victims in an oppressor victim sort of dynamic, right? They tend to be empaths, right? So they are sort of like emotionally predisposed to seeing oppression where it exists and speaking out against it. That's why a lot of them go for the cheaper virtue signals, where, in terms of whatever the cause du jour is, with the pins and the this
It
and
can
the
make
that
them
and
easy to manipulate that way.
it can. But in this case, their sensibilities collide with an issue where, they're speaking out is quite important. And so, yeah, good on her for doing it.
Yeah, the tide is definitely turning, which is pretty incredible, because you could argue there's no power base in society that is more dominated by Zionists than Hollywood.
Yeah.
You could maybe argue that it is also a function of the fact that Hollywood is on the back foot right now. It's losing its power. So these powerful people in Hollywood are not powerful in the way that they used to be. They're now kind of like one area of attention, one industry fighting for the attention of the public among many. They're competing with this, they're competing with social media. They don't have the juice they used to have, and that may be making it a little easier to challenge that power and authority for the average person in Hollywood who probably does not believe in this shit. But the power brokers at the big agencies, the big producers, they do, but I don't know that they have the control over their people that they once did.
Well, yeah, also because don't forget, a lot of this, especially when you're talking about the Emmys, where you're talking about TV, a lot of this is mass entertainment, right? So,
The fact that
don't.
they did this on CBS, which was just bought by Ellison.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I have something on that for the next piece. But yeah, I mean, mass entertainment means you don't really want to necessarily get on the wrong side of the masses, right? And so as it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer in the mind of the average person what's going on here, these celebrities, and not just the celebrities, but the studios behind the shows, have more and more leeway to talk because there's less and less risk, right? Because you're not alienating the customer anymore, right? If the customer's in the dark, then you're more worried about what the boss has to say, because the customer can go either way. But if the customers are mostly on one side of something, well, at that point, it's more a liability to be on the wrong side of it, and that's a big difference here.
I'm going to make a prediction right here, and people are going to be able to either applaud it in a couple of years or mock me for it. Rachel Zegler's career will be rehabilitated, and Gal Gadot's never will.
All right. Interesting. It's funny because, I saw the writing on the wall, like even we covered it on this show. I think January 2020, was it? Yeah, it was 2024, January 2024. We were filling in as a host. You were in LA, and we did a segment on the Golden Globes. And this was 2 months after October 7th. And there was no talk of this issue at all. No pro-Palestine sentiment. But notably, there was no pro-Israel expression either. Like, if that had been 20 years ago, everyone would have had the Israel flag pin, on their person. So that was an early indicator that, things had already moved in a certain direction. And good on her for keeping it going.
Well, I think because of the direction this is going in, because of the momentum that it has, eventually when this becomes the view to have, people are going to see her as having been a victim of going first in many ways. And that's going to make them want to give her a project. And she's going to get a lot of positive media coverage. Gal Gadot as the IDF soldier who can't act. It's done. Her career is over.
One can hope.
Come see me on tour in Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.